If you have chaotic games where laners are dying randomly on both teams and you struggle to make sense out of this situation, then this video is for you. The concept we're going to talk about is applicable to all carry junglers, but especially for Gwen, because players are not used to playing against her, and she's very good at cleaning up messy solo queue games. She is very similar to Master Yi in a sense where her early game is not the best, but she can fight if the fight is good for her team. Ideally, you want to ignore pings from your laners, because they should not dictate the way you play the game. You are the jungler, you make decisions. Your full focus should be on full clearing and tracking the enemy jungler. If we successfully track the enemy jungler, they should never be able to get a good gank off, because we know where they are. We only gank if the situation would give us more gold in a safe way than clearing jungle camps would. If level 3 Kayle on your team is pinging for help versus Darius, and you are Kindred versus Lee Sin, and you are pathing the same way, you should always ignore the pings, because their 2v2 is much stronger than yours, and you will always lose, and you will put the game in a very difficult situation to play from. Focus instead on taking something from the other jungler. If they show up top, take something from them bot, and vice versa. If we know that Lee Sin cleared bot side and he's going top side, we can ping the top laner to back off, and we can look to play bot side. Maybe we get a gank, maybe we take dragon, maybe we get a deep ward into his jungle. There's a lot to play for that isn't always obvious on the minimap. And all of it becomes possible because we know that Lee Sin is on the opposite side of the map. That is successful jungle tracking, because we know what Lee Sin is doing at all times and where he wants to move. With Gwen, however, the playstyle is just turned up to 9000 for multiple reasons. 1. You scale like a monster even during normal slow games. 2. You snowball like a monster because you deal some true damage and nobody can really build resistances against you that are effective. 3. You counter jungle very well and you can invade and jump over walls. This isn't always possible for the enemy jungler. You have really good damage for objectives like Dragon, Herald and Towers. 5. You actually one-shot towers later on into the game. 6. You clean up teamfights very good. I can go on and on. The reasons for playing Gwen is not always obvious because she's not a very popular champion. But if you manage to apply the things I tell you in this video, you will always have success with Gwen. When you are playing Gwen, you need to understand that you are the carry. Your early clear is going to be a bit slower, and even if your team is losing, you need to stay disciplined and not fall into the trap that your team is setting for you. Even if they are crying for ganks, you need to stay disciplined, you need to do what you do best, you need to clear your jungle. If you want to mute all, mute all. It's not a toxic thing to do, it's mostly for you to keep your mental strong and to not fall into the trap. If there's nothing to do on the map, recall, spend your gold, go back to full clearing. Never force ganks, because your champion is not that good early game. If you have to give up a Skelecrab, then so be it. Just focus on staying alive, clearing what you have and spending the gold you have. After getting 1 or 2 components of Nash's Tooth, either Recurve Bow or Fiendish Codex, your clear speed is now very good, and you can look to punish the enemy jungler, but not via a direct fight, because it's still very risky. Look to counter jungle their camps when they show on the opposite side of the map. Drop a pink ward deep into their jungle, and if they give you a free timer to do Dragon or Herald, look to take it. A free timer can be when they show on the opposite side of the map and you know that they don't have the objective warded. In small skirmishes, we never want to be the one that engages the fight. Gwen sucks at starting a fight when she's not ahead because she does not have anything that is quick and high impact. Think of Malphite ult, or Leona EQ, or Leona ult, or Alistar combo. She doesn't have any of that. She doesn't have Lee Sin Q, or R-Flash, or Xin Zhao engage. She's very slow in the beginning of a fight, but she ramps up very quickly, and that is important to know. Let the enemy team use their spells. They might kill 1 or 2 members of your team. It doesn't matter. Pop your ghost, pick your target, most of the time a carry, and use your ult charges to apply a slow on them and run them down with autos and Q. Use your W to dodge skill shots like Lux Q or Senna W, because most of the time, when they see a Gwen running fast towards them, they throw spells in panic to try and stop you. If you dodge them, they have no more answers to you. Don't spam all 3 ult charges on one person if you can save it. Try and spread it out to the next target in mind. However, if you need all 3 to kill someone, then use it, especially if that person has a shutdown on them. Your E is an auto attack reset and your reposition tool. Think about when to use it. Don't always spam your spells. The difference between a low elo Gwen and a high elo Gwen is the high elo Gwen knows when to use the spells. Your auto attack is also a good source of damage. Your Q hits very hard, and most champions will just melt. It doesn't matter if they are tanky or not, especially once you have 2 full items. Your core build is always going to be Nashes into Riftmaker, into Mercs or Steel Caps, depending on what you need. Cooldown boots are fine if you are in a good position. A good position can mean when you control the game. The reason why cooldown boots are so good is because you have Cosmic Insight in your runes, and your Ghost cooldown is going to be very low, which allows you to take more fights. After the core items, you can pick up Zhonya's if you need the defenses or the stasis. If they have very hard engage, then it's a good tool to have. If you don't need the Zhonya's immediately, you can pick up a Death Cap in order to do even more damage, or a Void Staff if you see that they are building magic resists. If they have very little CC and you feel like you can snowball very hard, an early Soul Stealer can be a good pickup as well. You're always going to run this Conqueror page because it scales very well with your kit. You take the free boots because you're only focusing on farming in the early game, and the free 300 gold is pretty massive. The extra movement speed you get from these boots is also very good. The free 300 gold is a kill in itself. You will take Blue Smite because Gwen values movement speed a lot, and catching people later in the jungle is going to be really easy. Your skill maxing order should always be Q into E into W, with a point in your ult whenever you can. At level 3 you can skip a point in your W and put 1 extra point in your Q for faster clear speed, but only if you know that you're not going to be invaded. In the mid game, we are strong enough to fight with almost everybody. If you notice people are pushing hard and they don't have backup, pop your Ghost early, run them down with autos and Q, and make sure to take as much for yourself as you can. You are the carry. Your objective is to get objectives. When the dragon is up, hover around it. Take it for free or win a small fight for it. Take tier 1 towers as fast as you can. That's very important. And you use the Herald, if you manage to get it, to pop the hardest tower to take. If they have champions like Anivia or Ziggs or Victor, killing their tower becomes your priority, because without that tower, they can't farm safely. If you don't take that tower, they will be able to protect it for a very long time, because they wave clear so efficiently and they are hard to push out of lane. After you take all tier 1s, you should focus on tier 2s. If your top laner is a split pusher like Jax or Fiora or Tryndamere, you can either hover them by invading and taking camps that are close to them, or play the other side of the map because the enemy team can't answer pressure on 2 sides of the map. If your team has around 2 items on most carries, Baron is now an option. Choke the enemy team out of vision, make them walk into Fog of War, play around with your support and look to kill someone that is walking way too far away from their team. All you need is 1 kill to start the Baron, and the enemy team shouldn't be able to contest you. If they don't even walk into you, then Baron is completely free. In lower elos especially, people don't always understand when Baron is free, and you need to spam ping the objective in order to get them to it. After taking Baron, you use your insane tower taking ability in a side lane and you smash down their base. This is a blueprint for every carry jungler in the game, but it's extra special for Gwen because nobody plays her. She's not a very popular champion, but she has the kit for carrying games. 0.6% pick rate and only 2.8% ban rate means you can play her every game and she won't ever be contested. Try her out in quick play first. Practice her clear in the jungle, and then give her at least 10 games in the jungle in ranked and see what you think. I believe she is an AP version of Master Yi, but harder to shut down because she's tankier. She has the damage, the stickiness, the tower damage, and it's all very good, and she should honestly be played way more. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you guys have a really nice holiday, enjoy the festivities, enjoy the time with your families, play some games, have fun. Season 14 is just around the corner and the content on this channel will ramp up very fast. Hope you liked the video, and if you want to see more, drop a like, subscribe if you want, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.